How did cracked become, like, the way to say, oh man, I'm good at the video game?
Good question.
Okay, so you can't just fall to your death.
What the hell is going on?
Ricochet!
Oh, this is actually just Ricochet. I wonder if anyone actually still plays, like, the actual Ricochet.
I know nothing about the game.
From what I've seen, like, I watched some video of some guy going through all of Valve's video games, including Ricochet and Day Defeat and shit like that, and there's a lot of bots, and the thing where, like, somebody is just sitting AFK in a server. Forever.
Yeah. A lot of their Gold Source multiplayer games are just infested with bots now.
Just can't wait for somebody to recreate this in Source 2, the second, like, better tools get released. As a shit.
Is Source 2 even real? I'm still not convinced.
It is, actually. Like,
It is. It's just like they've just really dragged their fucking feet when it comes to, like, getting tools out to people.
Yeah, like, it's not a marginal increase, but, like, I know Dota 2 currently uses it.
It's not real, but I do like to think that, like, of the few people who've played Ricochet, we now count amongst that very small number. It's actually an elite club.
You can say you've played Ricochet with actual people.
When did they even release this? Well, the actual Ricochet.
Like 99, I'm gonna say.
Because, like, their first game was Half-Life.
Oh, it's November 1st, 2000.
Oh, huh.
I mean, okay, Source Filmmaker 2, and then, like, then there's that bit where they say, oh, hey, yeah, Dota's totally part of this on the Source 2 engine now, but, like, it looks and plays and behaves exactly the same.
Talking about Counter-Strike?
Source 2 in general. Although Counter-Strike Global Offensive 2 is going to be a part of that now.
I don't know. It seems like minor improvements, but the smoke grenades kind of impressed me.
Oh, let's face it. There's in terms of what we can actually see going on, it's obviously primarily graphics and performance, and there's a kind of diminishing returns on that stuff as it gets better, you know?
Yeah.
Like, sure, 720p is a huge increase in visual fidelity over, say, you know, 480, but honestly, between 4K and 1080, I don't see a huge difference.
I think the big appeal is that with Dota 2, they actually increased the performance a bit.
So there was a noticeable difference?
System. Yeah, because I think original Source is kind of bad with, like, multi-core CPUs.
It's from the 90s. It's based on... I don't quite know when the modern Source came out, but I do know that it is still essentially a fancy version of the Quake engine.
Yeah, it's still early 2000s, just kind of, like, modernized a bit.
That reminds me, apparently the Wii U and 3DS eShops have officially been shut down. RIP.
Nintendo just killing more stuff.
Well, let's face it, it's a miracle that the Wii U eShop remained up as long as it did, considering no one frickin' bought the Wii U. And that released in what, 2012?
Jeez. I remember seeing, like, a snippet from a magazine when they were first talking about the virtual console, and they were like, yeah, disregard all your physical media, just use the virtual console, that will contain everything you have, and it's all good. That's from, like, fucking 2006.
Yeah, to this day I prefer physical copies for obvious reasons.
Like, I'm okay with Steam when it comes to digital stuff. Like, if it's on my PC, I'm okay with digital. When it's like a console, give me physical.
I can still download the Transformers games from Steam because I own them. So Valve's good about that sort of stuff, and they promised that they'd have a way of, disentangling the games from Steam should they ever go out of business. Do I believe that? I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's iffy. It's nice that they at least acknowledge that that's a thing, and they're at
And it's
least
not
paying
like-
lip service. But until that actually happens, we're not going to know what their actual plan is.
I'm not so worried about it primarily because at the end of the day, Steam it's a form of copyright protection and just in the form of a launcher. It doesn't need to be online. It doesn't need to check in with a server periodically or anything to work. If Valve servers were to go down tomorrow, all my Valve games would still launch off of Steam. All my Steam games would still launch off of my PC.
Yeah.
And eventually people would figure out how to jailbreak them. So I'm not as worried about that sort of stuff as garbage like, we discussed earlier with the forced scarcity, the artificial scarcity with the Nintendo nonsense.
So tell me, what is like? I imagine you don't expect Donkey Kong to scream in a human voice, so it must be really weird to see that when you die.
It sounds about right for DK.
Started playing the original Resident Evil 4.
What about it?
Did they go to bingo?
Yeah, they went to bingo. Yeah, first time I played. I didn't expect them to just fuck off back into the church.
It's a good game. Like, I don't necessarily have an issue with the fact they remade it. I just don't understand it because that game is still like an easy 9 out of 10 by modern standards.
Like, the original Resident Evil 4 was designed by its director.
Yeah.
The director's soul, and in the new one, it is missing. It's kind of just there for money.
Yeah, it's
Resident
definitely a
Evil-
cash grab. No one was begging for it.
Like, the director of the game, he really liked watches and clocks, which is why when you open any item you get, it just spins around, and you get to really examine it, even though it's a really simple object. You just get to examine that herb, examine everything. It's just name again.
Yeah, and it was I also feel like it's a bit of a callback to the earlier Resident Evil games where you'd pick up an item and show you a spinning 3D model of it in the middle of the screen for a little bit.
Yeah, and I don't think you get to see the spinning 3D model in the remake, do you?
I haven't played it. I may
looked
grab it when it's on sale someday.
I'm sure some people.
I've seen a lot of gameplay, and I don't think I remember seeing the spinning thing.
Well, one of the things is about the more recent Resident Evils is they're more about the immersion, and spinning 3D models in front of your face kind of video gamey breaks that a little bit.
Hey, you gotta respect your roots.
I mean, it's whatever. The Resident Evil 2 remake was really good. That's extremely good. And it doesn't really try to tread on the original at all. So...
Yeah, like,
Does it have the spinning 3D model still?
I have no recollection. I think you can inspect stuff in your inventory, but it uses the Resident Evil 7 and 8 system.
But yeah, I don't think the new RE4 was made purely as a cash grab. I do think that there's people who gave a shit and think it's a cool game and that oh hey, let's just do it again. But it's also they've got this new tech they want to play with that they're still trying to damn it.
RE engine is pretty impressive. I mean, that thing, they started, I think, with RE7 with that, and they even, Monster Hunter Rise is running in that, and it runs it just fine, despite,
being on the Switch.
Built for a very different game.
One thing I know is that, they used it for the new Devil May Cry, right?
Yes.
I believe they do. When you look at the history of Capcom's internal engine systems, they are very efficient in terms of resource use. I'm thinking back to, I think it was CryEngine before? No.
NT framework.
Yeah, NT framework, and that was used for friggin' everything, and it was pretty dang impressive, honestly.
Yeah, that shit just, I don't know how it fucking works. It's just efficient and looks
Yeah,
good.
and I feel like the RE Engine's kind of the second coming of that. Because they use it for every version of the ports. Like, it runs on the Switch and it runs on the PC. It runs well on all of that stuff, which is pretty impressive because a lot of engines are coded, you know, with a specific platform in mind. But it just works.
It's just I bring up the RE engine because I just remember seeing like a bit of a just a shot of a little bit of a cutscene from the new Devil May Cry of just like it's not even a fight. It's just like somebody there eating pizza, and I think it's I don't know who the fuck what lady I think, but it's just like eating, and she turns her head, and like from how it looks, you would think, oh, the hair is just gonna clip straight through her, it's gonna freak out, and just no, it moves like a normal person to the point where you go, it's like, wow, holy shit, right?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. That's like I said, the graphics and textures and all aren't that different between, you know, as stuff gets fancy these days, but you know, particle physics emulation, not having the hair clip through stuff, that's definitely improving. It's the little detailed stuff these days, more so than the greater. Of course, not everything needs to be super realistic.
It's what I'm reminded of when people talk about like video game terms that are just incomprehensible, like to an outsider.
Or the super specific terms that like only refer to certain games.
Yeah.
Like I know Smash has a bunch of those where, unfortunately, basically the rule is the first person to discover the trick or really get good at it gets to name it. So you get really dumb stuff.
Yeah, you got really dumb names, and you can only understand the context if you were there. Otherwise, it's just fucking gibberish.
Why the fuck is it called footsies?
Because you crouch kick a lot for spacing. So you wind up with them, you know, having a thumb war, but it's with, you know, crouch kicks. That's footsies.
You know how like shit like Evo and other events sometimes have like weird side events where it's just like, oh hey, play this, like do a little tournament in this game, and whoever wins gets like $500 when like the main event is like over 10 grand.
Yeah.
It's just like during like a Counter-Strike game or tournament or whatever, just do this.
I know that there was an Evo where some guy showed up with Catherine, the version with multiplayer, and ran a Catherine tournament.
I remember that. It's funny because they're talking about it's just like they have like an actual caster just going, it's just like, okay, I guess we're playing this now, and like getting into it, and then it's just like, oh man, he's got X Factor, and it's just like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, they're just using Marvel vs. Capcom terms in a game that's not even involved with that game.
Yeah, go with what you know, yeah, right?
Yeah.
I didn't get that. Why do they get to get that? Everyone should have the same experience with it I did.
Oh, this map looks like a shit show.
It's actually funny because that's the same thing that's happening with CS2. Like they have all these new
quality of life things. Like,
yeah,
hey, yeah, the crosshair is gonna more accurately reflect where the bullet goes as you pull the trigger, and then people just like, no.
Yeah, like it doesn't really change the game, but it's easier for people to learn what's going on with the game.
In terms of fanatical followings, Counter-Strike's got to be way up there. If they were to change the pathing AI and the chickens on the Italy map, people would lose their shit.
But
I legitimately think it's that there. Some people in there are just kind of that crazy.
Oh, you don't have to tell me twice. I'm certain that there are people who would like maybe not become screaming lunatics, but like they would see that distance as like, why not accurate? Why change?
If I had been using the II from 1.8 instead of 1.9, the chicken would have been here and not blocked my smoke grenade.
Someone described it best. Counter-Strike is like the comfort game for everyone. Like it's something that will never change or almost never change.
See, I have trouble buying that because people get so damn mad when playing it.
Well, I mean, like I don't know if comfort is like the right term, but it's like it's It's old reliable or whatever.
Yeah, that's a good way to put
I think
it.
the word
It's
you're
like
looking for is nostalgic.
it's like
Yeah.
it's like, oh hey, we're gonna change the rules on chess, and it's just like, but why? Huh?
Chess 2.
Just
Yeah, like it's that version where you can time travel and shit.
oh
This
my
one
god.
comes with a season pass that unlocks different skins for your pawns, and also a power-up that allows your rooks to move what's the word? Diagonal, but only every other turn, so it's fair and balanced. Some people are a little fanatical about it, and I don't understand. Alabek, how did you survive that?
I don't know. So something fun that I've noticed: power-ups stack.
Yeah, they do. You can get like a fast shot with free shot. Kind of crazy. This was really chaotic with like 16 players.
Oh yeah, I think that's the entire point of like this specific arena, because like it's like 3 levels, lots of space. Yeah, just like, okay, just like walk on up to fucking Counter-Strike 2. Hey, like win $20 in this Ricochet max, and it's like, yeah, how many people we fit in here? 32.
God.
I'm starting to think that we've seen all there is to see.
Yeah, I agree. Nothing wrong with it, just this is simple.
I gotta say, I do appreciate this kind of game.
Tempted to just sort of like chill out and see if I can just get as many power-ups as I can. Right now I've got triple power shot. Can I get freeze or speed?
I don't think it spawns that many at once.
You can hold on to your power-ups as long as you don't use them.
Yeah, but I think as long as they're on the field, it'll only spawn like 2 at different types at a time.
Oh, to prevent... Oh, wait, no! Triple shot, fast power shot.
Oh god.
Can I get freeze? Is this the secret meta to Team Ricochet? Just like you body block for your teammate who gets all the power-ups, and then you just win by sweeping?
I think I made it angry. It says triple shot, fast shot, power shot.
Yep, that's what I got too.
That's I guess it's kind of accurate. Those are the 3 I have.
Yeah, I have triple shot, power shot. Our power shot just spawned.
Oh, I didn't mean to bounce.
Oh,
it.
okay,
freeze! Get it!
Triple shot, fast shot, power shot, free shot.
That's hilarious. Which is kind of redundant because power shot just kills you right away.
Yeah,
Okay,
I feel like once you get all the abilities at once, it should just like nuke the whole map. And you
Okay,
get points for killing
okay, so
everyone.
I'm gonna go shoot at somebody and see what the hell this looks like. So, okay, so watch out.
It makes a fun noise.
Yes, it does.